Hello everyone, and let's talk about an ebook that I read that is a short story. It was only 49 pages. This one is another book in the A Monstrous Mistake collection. I am really trying to read this whole collection and finish it. This one was written by Blisse Wynters, published in 2022. The human is usually the female. At least in all the ones I've read so far, they've all been human, or some of them they have been like a witch, but basically human. And then the monsters are the men. They could be, I read one where one was a fallen guardian angel. I read one with a gargoyle, the Grim Reaper, a couple of vampires, a demon. Yeah, so they're all monsters. This one is a vampire. So the female main character is 23 years old and her name is Honey. The male main character, we never get his actual age. Then at one point he comments that he's old enough to be her father, even though he doesn't look it. Again, vampire. And his name is Matthias, I'm guessing is how that is said. He has a friend who is engaged to a witch. This one I had an issue with. This was not my favorite. It was my least favorite so far out of the ones in the Monstrous Mistake. There were a lot of grammatical errors in this particular book. And I'm not talking about punctuation errors, although some of them I definitely could have missed. I'm talking more along the lines of phrases, things being choppy, like it gave the impression that this needed to be edited another time or two. There were things that it would say, Matthias felt the something, etc. So it was choppy at a lot of times. So it definitely took out of the enjoyment. I mean, the overall story was enjoyable as far as the love between the lusting and the romance between Honey and Matthias. But there were a lot of grammatical sentence structural errors in this book. Very distracting in my opinion. So again, it's a romance between a human and a monster. In this case, it is a vampire. This starts on Halloween. And this particular book, again, 49 pages, extends past Halloween by a couple of days to about a week at the most. So Matthias explains to Honey what he is. She needs some space. And where it's a romance, as romance ends, they come back together. So, yeah, that's what it is. So, content warning for sexually explicit scenes. There are 2 overall, and sexually explicit language. So, that's pretty much all I can say about this. For as far as representation, you do have plus size representation. It talks about how Honey and her cousin, who is engaged to this other vampire, are both on the thicker side, and it talks about them having thunder thighs. So that's why I say there's plus size. It just kind of referenced at a couple of things. You have in this the following words in case you are still on the fence. I really can't say much about this book. So you have hell coming up 3 times, horny once, hussy once, boob once, fuck 5, dick once, ass 6, rail once, cock 10, damn 6, arouse 2, the name Jesus once, hard once, nipple 7, breasts 4, wet once, clit twice, slut once, come C-O-M-E twice, juice once, the name Lord once. None of this has been in a religious sense. Blowjob once. The word God once. Pussy twice. Tip once. Length once. Milk once. Nub once. And thrust twice. So as far as the sexually explicit language, I have read books that are closer to this length, within a couple of pages, that have been much more sexually explicit with the language and the sex scenes in there. So this is definitely more tame on the sexual content within this book thus far of what I've read so far. But again, it definitely needs another round or 2 of edits to smooth out the language and the structure and the word usage in these sentences. So definitely needs another round of edit, in my opinion. And it's pretty obvious. It was definitely pretty jarring and definitely took down the enjoyment, because you would be reading a sentence and then something in the sentence would change and certain words would repeat to the point that it was like you have to stop and go, now wait a second, and have to start the sentence or the paragraph over to figure out what was being said. So not the greatest editing on this. I think most of these are either self-published or independently published, but again, this definitely needed another round of edit, at least one more round. So, but I do think that the plot has a lot of potential in that. It would have been better with some of the corrections in there, but I can definitely see the potential on that. So yeah, if you're okay with something seeming like it needs another edit, then maybe you'll enjoy this one as well. But just the heads up going into this, you are going to run into some issues there. But overall, I did like that there is talk towards the end. You do find out about someone being a virgin in this and the first time having sex. So that is referenced. And so if you're looking for a book that contains a virgin, this does have a virgin in there. And things like that. So there is reference to how the vampires don't feast like they normally do. There is another way that they feast. It doesn't specifically say, but you do kind of learn what it is that they do to get their satiation with needing to feed. But yeah, so that is it. Let me know, have you read Halloween Bloodlust? Or is this something that you're going to give a pass to? So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Is this one that you're going to pass or are intrigued to pick up on? Let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I will talk to you later.